Hi, we are back on Wednesday. It's amazing how fast this goes every week. Um, there's a couple letters I got for follow-ups to the suicide last week. Um, three or four different letters. They were all basically asking the same question. So I guess I wasn't very clear on that. When a person commits suicide or dies violently or dies, they have the same personality that they had when they were alive. If Now the suicides, some of them are sorry that they did it, some are not. That's exactly what they wanted to do. I noticed that especially with people that are terminally ill. They're glad it's over, it's happy, they're at peace, and they'll even be more at peace when they cross over. They are not so much depressed. A lot of them are really, really sad, though, on the way the family is taking it. Um, and I think a lot of suicides are very, very sorry that they did not leave a note. It's amazing how many do not. And I think they're a little bit sorry when they don't, because if they could leave a note, at least they could absolve the parents or the spouse that it wasn't their fault. So that is pretty much takes care of that. Okay, this one is from Edna in Ohio. This is another batch that she sent in. My husband and I have been in our house about a year. We're the second owners and we purchased the home from an elderly widow. She and her husband had built the house, and I understand from neighbors the husband was always puttering around. He must have loved the house. He died, and when we moved in, there was some evidence of a presence, and we think it may be him. We've experienced these couple of things. I was alone and packing and felt as though someone was tugging at the back of my shirt. This happened twice within minutes. Some of my husband's small tools were found in odd places in the house. We hadn't touched them, and his workroom is always closed off from our cats. Uh, our A wedding picture of ours fell off the wall with a crash. Upon examination, the hanger on the picture was fine. The nail in the wall was still there, not bent, and the picture falling didn't leave a mark on the wall, nor was there any damage to the picture itself. This picture had been on the wall since the day after we moved in. It was as if it jumped off the nail. Everything that you described in here absolutely positively an earthbound spirit can do. I have no way of knowing if it was the previous owner, but you're probably right at least, and you may have more than one. I don't usually see a guy messing around with wedding pictures on walls, but the tools, oh yeah, when they're alive, they mess with them. They mess with them when they're dead too. So that could definitely be, who it is. Maybe he's just sticking around to see if you're going to love the house as much as he and his wife did. If it's a bother to you or you think it's getting a little out of control, have the house blessed by an ordained priest or minister. Get a smudge stick and start smudging on a regular basis. And that should eventually disgust him where he will leave and not come back. Okay, this one is from Las Vegas, and actually her name is Amber. Marianne, I really have a question. When I was a little girl, grammar school age, my family and I lived in a haunted house. In this house, we would constantly hear things. Our cats would look at the air and literally freak out. Two times I saw out of the corner of my eye my grandmother who passed away a few years prior. My question is there any way to get an ability like that back? Or is it just a case of children being sensitive and then outgrowing it? I would appreciate your thoughts. I think a lot of cases, you don't say how long ago this was. But, back in the day when a child said that they were afraid or a house was haunted, the parents would, oh, you're a big boy now, you're a big girl now, there's nothing there, stop acting like a baby. Parents don't do that anymore. So a lot of kids don't lose it. But back then, when you were in grammar school, if you were scolded for saying that stuff or saying that you were afraid, you could have stopped using it, and that's what most kids do. You don't use it, you lose it. But what I've noticed over the years is that when people are through, their children are gone, let's say you're an empty nester, you're rattling around in your house, for some reason, a lot of people really become aware of earthbound spirits again in that part of their life. And I have no idea why. All I know is that maybe they have more time now, they're not chasing kids, running to ball games. You're more into your own self now. Maybe that's what it is. You have time now to read a book where you didn't before. So I think just give it time. Read as much as you can about different things that you're interested in the metaphysical, and just pay attention. And seriously, if you learn how to meditate or teach yourself how to meditate, you'd be surprised meditating how much information you can get for yourself if you meditate. But that's, you might be able to do that. Okay, this one is from Mitch in Alabama. Recently, I have noticed one or several spirits in my house. One particular time I was sleeping and woke up to a voice whispering something in my ear. I was laying on my side and felt a hand on me, as well as someone laying next to me. I was pretty freaked out and thought some weirdo broke into my house and was laying next to me. I reached my arm back to feel who or what was behind me and felt something solid, I thought. When I turned around to look, nothing was there. The next one was similar. I was woken up by someone tapping me on the shoulder, and a male voice said, "Wake up, Mitch. You go get a haircut now." This really made me kind of laugh because I'm bald. Can you tell me what's going on? I have to admit, this is a little bit unusual. You said you were pretty sure it was a guy spirit, and, you know, everything is wide open now, so who knows? But I seriously, no matter if it was a man or a woman, it's not appropriate. So I certainly would have the house blessed. I would start smudging. I mean, let's be honest, your bedroom is your safe space. You should not have anybody crawling in bed with you that you didn't ask to join you. So I would definitely do that. I don't know, maybe you're a type A personality and you have a lot of energy and that's what they're getting from you. Maybe they just like freaking you out because you put out more energy, which is what they exist on. So that could all be part of it. I would have no way of knowing how old they are or how long they've been there, but you certainly can call and we can find out if they're still there and what's going on. Okay, this one is from Connie. I'm writing as an effort to see if the problems I am having are a result of spirits in my home. I have lived in my home for 10 years now. I bought it as a foreclosure. After purchasing the house, I learned that the woman who lived here before me died. Over the years, I have noticed random things that lead me to believe that she or someone else was here with me. As time goes on, household items start to malfunction as well as other items gone missing. I'm Catholic and very spiritual, and I feel like there are other entities here with me. Recently, there have been a series of major appliance issues, even though the house was renovated just a couple years ago. My partner and I seem to be at each other's throats sometimes when there is nothing wrong between us. I try to look at these issues as happenstance, but I am really questioning if there is a deeper reason for these occurrences. Okay, you got a couple things going on here. Number one, you bought a house on a foreclosure. So that tells me that there's a lot of negative energy in the house. And after 10 years, maybe some of it had lessened, maybe not. The other thing that might be going on is that you may have a portal, which I cannot tell from a letter. And if you've got a portal, then you've got spirit, an earthbound spirit that will come in and out of that. And spirits that come out of portals are not your regular everyday ghosts that just walk in through the patio door or the front door. The ones that come out of a portal have an attitude, usually died a violent death or very violent people. So you don't want those earthbound spirits in your house for sure. It could be that. And I have to tell you, if it's somebody from a portal, they do like to cause problems. The more that they can get you to fight with somebody or be upset with somebody or start breaking the appliances where it costs you money, that is not uncommon at all. Because stuff is breaking, I'm going to guess that it is not the previous owner. Why would the lady do that? I'm thinking more that this is a man. You really need to give me a call and let's see if that's what you've got going on. Now, this brings me to this. I am on Zoom once a week for the simple fact, since the virus, I just don't do, I can't go and clear houses like I used to. I'm leery to do it, and so calls are piling up. So started doing Zoom and do it once a week. And the amazing thing is that when I am talking to somebody on Zoom and they are where they think the problem is, I can tell, do you have a portal in the house? I'll tell you. Is that a ghost standing behind you? I still can't talk to them, but I can tell you what he looks like, what kind of clothes he's wearing, approximately by his clothes or haircut, how long ago he's been dead. You know, you could certainly call, but this might be faster than me getting back to you with the phone calls. So if this is something that any of you are interested in, go to my website and click to the events, and all the information is there how to get to one of the Zooms. This week it is on Saturday, next week it'll be on Friday night. Each week it's either Friday night or Saturday afternoon. Okay, and that might really help you, Connie, especially we could determine if you have a portal in the house. It would be faster again than me calling you back. Okay, Law of Abundance next week, Tuesday, on the 18th. It's at 10:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means anytime after midnight on the 18th, but before 10:42 p.m. And adjust this for your time zone. This is for Eastern Standard Time. And with the newsletter that comes out in a couple of days, there will be an index of all the YouTubes that have been on since I started. I think there's probably close to 100 now. So a lot of you can get information from that too. If you're looking for an answer to a very specific problem, you can definitely go to the YouTubes and see if you can find if that does it. And obviously I'm still taking phone calls. You just have to be patient for me to call you back. And the last thing is, I have a webmaster. I do not look at Facebook. Do not send me questions to Facebook. I don't see them. And I'm not ignoring you. I don't see them. So if you need to call, come on Zoom, or write me a letter. And next week we are just going to be taking regular questions again because they're piling up too. So everybody stay safe, and I will see you next week Wednesday. Thanks.